to Unews. I'm Carolina Sarassa, and thank you for being here with us. We begin this hour with a bombshell from the so-called transcript released by the White House today of the phone call between President Trump and the President of Ukraine. That call taking place back in July. During that conversation, President Trump repeatedly pushing him to reopen an investigation of his potential 2020 rival, former Vice President Joe Biden and his son, even asking him to work with Attorney General William Barr and Rudy Giuliani on this issue. Carolina Rosario has been reviewing the transcript and is standing by with those details. Caro.
Hi, Carolina. The transcript is 5 pages long. It's based on notes from staff assigned to listen and document the conversation from July 25th. The notes show President Trump push Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden, a potential political rival. And his heart is the question of whether Trump used the power of his office to attempt to influence a foreign country to meddle in the 2020 elections. So let's review the details of the transcript. The call starts off with Trump. It was discovered that Giuliani had planned a trip to Kiev to pressure Zelensky to reopen investigations into Joe Biden, but that trip was canceled. But Giuliani has since said he went to Spain in August to speak with Ukraine officials. So let's see what happens, Carolina. Back to you.
Thank you, Caro, for that detailed report. And of course, we're following up with all this information on this transcript, 5 pages of this transcript that we have today. And now let's go to Lorraine Cáceres, that she has more information on what is going on at the White House. Lorraine, welcome. Oh, just continue with the show. When Obama was president, they appointed then Vice President Biden to be appointment to help end some corruption issues in the Ukraine. But in 2014, Joe Biden's son Hunter was on the board of directors of Ukraine's largest private gas company. The question is, was there a conflict of interest? Did Hunter Biden profit in the country when his dad was working with the government? So far, there has been no sign of wrongdoing. Trump, Giuliani, and Republicans have provided zero evidence of legal actions. And this release comes a day after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced an impeachment inquiry into President Trump. This as the number of House Democrats who at least support launching an impeachment inquiry is quickly approaching the number of votes needed to impeach Trump in the House. But the effort could still hit obstacles in the Senate. Andrea Linares explains. And if it's possible, we're going to go back to Andrea later in the show. We continue talking about this transcript that, of course, has created a lot of controversy. And President Trump is meeting Ukrainian President Zelensky today at the UN. Zelensky's meeting with Trump comes just a day after an impeachment inquiry against him was formally opened. Zelensky has refused to answer questions about his conversations with Trump, calling them, quote, private and confidential. Of course, we're going to keep an eye on what is going on today at the White House, and so many reactions from President Trump, who today also talked about what happened. And talking about reactions to the release of that transcript and the inquiry are pouring in, of course. Meanwhile, his lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, is defending the president's actions, while top Republicans are saying Democrats have tried to impeach the president since before he took office. Now let's go to Lorraine Cáceres, and she has more. Lorraine, can you hear us?
The president says that the Democrats should apologize because that call was perfect and he never put any pressure on Ukraine. But Nancy Pelosi, of course, sees the total opposite, saying that this memo that we're calling the transcript is exactly the opposite, that it's further proof that the president did pressure Ukraine. Right now, the president of the House Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff, is saying, comparing this memo to mob shakedown, while Nadler from the Judiciary Committee says that now the Attorney General Barr should recuse himself because Trump brought him into this mess. Important document in this whole situation is that whistleblower complaint, which we hear we could get released as soon as today, as tomorrow McGuire is set to testify on Congress. So we'll see what the developments in the next 24 hours will be. That's all the information we have from Washington. I'll toss it back to you.
Thank you, Lorraine. And here's a question for all of you at home. Do you know exactly what impeachment means? If not, you are not alone. Miriam, new details in the vaping crisis. The governor of Massachusetts announcing a ban on the sales of all vaping products, even as many continue to try to educate teenagers about the potential dangers of e-cigarettes. Meanwhile, police in Minnesota say 75,000 vaping pods were confiscated this week just north of Minneapolis. Authorities are calling it the South Side. A local Latino rights group is calling out the police departments. They say Milwaukee police helped Immigration and Customs Enforcement detain a local resident. Part of that incident was caught on camera. Maite Interiano has the story and the footage. We have to warn you, you might find it disturbing. And local authorities say they did not participate in the raid, but they say they helped with the arrest after being flagged down by ICE agents. Christine says she's raising money for an immigration attorney and is trying to get her husband released. And welcome back to Unews. A boy only 11 years old is back home in South Carolina after driving 200 miles and alone in his brother's car. Police say the boy went to meet a man he met on social media, but as Michelle Jurado reports, one police officer was at the right place at the right time. A Wisconsin inmate has reportedly confessed to the murder of Teresa Hallback. The inmate, who will remain unnamed until the Wisconsin law enforcement has access to that confession, she told filmmakers, and now an update on a terrifying attack we first told you about on Tuesday. At an open house in California, men viciously pushed a real estate agent to the ground and then run off. Police said they got the men responsible. As Eileen Cardet found out, there are 2 more women who say also had disturbing encounters with that same suspect. An Oklahoma City firefighter was arrested Saturday morning. It all began with a call to 911 about a man running naked down the street. The incident ending with the man being tased and telling an officer that he was Jesus. Ricardo Arambari has more details. Mexico, a new report found that former President Enrique Peña Nieto built a $1 million house for his then wife, Angelica Rivera. That house was located within the presidential compound, an issue that has prompted controversy amongst Mexican lawmakers and ordinary people. Kelia Tejada has the story. Food. In Los Angeles, a Mexican sushi restaurant is getting a lot of attention, not only for the fusion of these 2 beloved foods, but also for his chef and his personal story. Frank Mendoza went from... And welcome back. We have plenty of entertainment news today. An honor for actor Tom Hanks, plus new concerns about a film hitting theaters soon. But first, good news for Breaking Bad fans. Miriam Arias is back with her Hollywood Minute.
In the letter sent, they asked Warner Brothers to end political contributions to candidates who take money from the NRA, to focus and lobby for gun reform, and also to help programs that support survivors and gun violence. Back to you, Caro.
Thank you, Miriam, for that information. We are so glad to have you back, and we'll see you guys tomorrow here at Unews. Hasta mañana, and thank you for watching.